Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, for my fellow YouTubers, Facebookers. Welcome to another edition of Eric Sky Release Video Blog. I'm Eric Sky. First up for the disclaimer, no one can use my videos for uploading, downloading, distributing, selling, uh, any nefarious purpose, shape, or size for any appearances, courts, you name it, etc., etc. It's my copyright. If I find out you've done anything with it, I will be using lawyers to sue your ass. Now, down to the nitty-gritty this morning. As you all know, it's been, a few days, 10 days or so, or it's 5 days or something. Anyways, last video, I do want to show you something. I was showing this to someone the other day. This is what law enforcement did to me. Yep, right here. Feels like it's a flesh-eating bacteria or wound or something. So, one of the things I wanted to do this morning is just touch base with you all. Chloe got another book she's reading right now. She's actually shocked in the biochemical theories of the new psychiatry. This guy here, I've read what Chloe's read, and the guy is just amazing. So, the guy has never ever in psychiatry prescribed drugs to any of his patients. He's always said a good therapist works or a good psychologist. Now, for some of you out there, I got so much to talk about. So I contacted lawyers on that whole issue with me. Apparently there's a lot of let's just say there's a little. I don't want to get into it, okay? But it is a complicated issue, and more likely, there's going to be problems. Now, I wanted to say to my fellow sister, trans sisters, Lexi, hope you're doing all right. I saw your post or something. I was kind of concerned. I thought, from Facebook, you're going to be a beach bum. I was like, oh no, and Chloe said if you do it, San Diego's the way to go. She was homeless there and the beaches are nice and warm. So if you decide to do that, I hope you don't. Now, I know Jenna was telling me the other day something or other about I don't remember the whole thing, but thing about I left some comments up, as Tara J, she made a post, and yes, if she wants to address me as a effer, that's fine and whatever. I don't really care, but I them up because, I thought the comments were hilarious. Chloe is a hillbilly, in a dress. and I know Chloe's been really, you can't comment because Chloe can't see your comments, etc. But I left it up there. So when I do check comments on the giant screen on the living room, she's like, oh no, and it's like, calm down, take a chill pill, calm down, take a chill pill. But anyways, for Tara J, and the group, Gabby and Lexi and Paige. I hope you're doing okay, Paige. One of the things I want to share with you all was Tara J was sitting there and she said something about something or other in comments with Social Security, something or other. And Chloe, as I said, she sees everything on the giant screen because I check all my comments. When I'm not playing the Switch, I've spent like 70 hours playing Harvest Moon. I just can't stop. It's like, but today I got to take a bath because my disability is like, oh well, my neighbor finally took me aside yesterday and she said, what we need to do is focus on getting you better, Rita, and not focusing on so much of the problems. So, and also today I'm going to have to clean this place as a bitch of a mess because we got 4 days till an inspection. Yesterday I told Chloe because I've been in a wheelchair for concussion, and I told her, and shout out to Chloe's mom. Chloe's mom's watching. She might like this news. There's a lot of people that are like, well, you need to have a phone and this and that. So it ain't against the law to have no phone. Besides that, we're going to get one soon. It's just we don't have a phone, And so I got to check on my phone account anyways because, I still got 14 days a month, got to order it. But I also got to go find something like from Verizon or something. We're looking for something nice. So But anyways, July is coming up. It's a blessing. But anyways, well, let me get to the whole story. Chloe's mom's gonna be happy. But anyways, so I left the comments up about something about SS, and etc. Now I'm not gonna go into details, but I just got a letter with Chloe. They always address it to me because I'm the one that's helping Chloe. And basically, we have a second appointment and a third appointment with Chloe's lawyer for Social Security disability or claim. And as I said, we already submitted the information that we have available, and and certain things that haven't been submitted because we don't have them. So the guys, for me to get to it. And now I know Chloe's mom's probably sitting there going, "Well, you better get to it." I don't. I've realized that I don't have any ill will feelings towards Chloe's mom. The only thing I have is you don't freaking go on my YouTube channel and attack me directly. Otherwise, she can basically kiss my butt. Literally. Now, uh, now, I've done everything I can, but the thing is, it's still up to the judge. Now, Social Security already automatically approves anyone with autism spectrum disorder or Asperger's. So, whatever disability claim. The rest, as I told the lawyer, he agrees that the rest is just bonus. And I mean, 3 hospitalizations. I mean, look, we can't get the third hospitalization records because of the things that's been said in it, and they have to keep it sealed because they don't want anyone to know what's in it because it's got names of people that, as I said in the previous, that I've talked to, and I'm not saying, oh, I'm not spilling HIPAA law or anything. Chloe's always will go talk about it, but certain people in Chloe's uh, quote unquote hit list or anger list or the Nixon's uh, what is that? The Nixon had his own little list, the good and bad list or whatever. I can't remember, the yeah, anyways, and the Nixon got basically impeached for all this stuff. And one of the things is he had his own list of people that he wanted to target, and so I'm a big Nixon fan. But anyways, that those things are so protected that they actually gave some actual people's legal names, and so it's like, whoa, we can't do this, But anyways, about that, so and then certain people basically gave certain records anyways. They said they're not complete because of this reason or that reason or this reason or that or this or this or that or this. And so technically, when you got the whole Big Bang Theory, it is not a good thing, And so, oh, this is wobbling. Let me fix it. So, anyways, back to the story. So, we have a date for a hearing for the administrative law judge, finally. So, the guy chops at the bit and says, "We need more info." So, I have his private number, called him up this morning, and I said, "Didn't you get the messages?" "What messages?" So, I called through the computer and I told him, I said, "We got you. I gave you every record. There's only 3 records we're missing, and those records we're basically working on getting now." And he goes, "Well, how long will it take?" I said, "Well, let's see. This place I've sent in over 9 requests release of information via email and via mail, and not email, but fax. They send me the release. We fax it and we print it out, and then we send it out. We don't get anything for 2 weeks. We do it again. We've done this constantly since we've been told this. The homeless shelter refuses to give their whatever psychological records they have on Chloe for whatever reason. Now the third one, the Christian-based thing." And everyone knows the Christian-based problem is they redid this. It says no legal issues, but they basically didn't say what her diagnosis is, except no diagnosis is. They messed up and said 2 psychiatric hospitals, not 3. And yeah. There you go. And then it says she's got to follow up with a probation. This I can tell you. Abide by her probation rules and check in with her parole officer. Now, and then they said once she can get, this is the one place. once she can get um, once she can get taken care of, the parole violations talk to the probation, So, but you do know right here, it doesn't say she has autism right here. It just says she has one thing. They. But the reason they said that, they also says right here in the Christian group, is that she has, quote unquote, I'm not going into details, abused me. And so Chloe's panicked, So we went to the office to get the records. They won't actually mail or release, and they're like, no, we're not giving you your records because we have to basically make sure you get taken care of your parole and probation thing. Well, you know me, I've contacted every place. I've contacted Ohio, Arizona, California, Washington, and there's nothing. Unless someone can direct me to who the parole officer is so we can contact them, there is no therapy going to be allowed. Now, the other place doesn't want Chloe going to therapy because of the fact that what Chloe said, So Chloe and the main one on the hill, that they don't want to deal with me, and I'll tell you why. But anyways, the main one on the hill basically doesn't want to deal with Chloe because Chloe basically said, and they got a water down discharge summary that basically said she wanted to, pretty much, you know, hurt these people and that and this and this. And I mean, one of her records we asked about basically said that they couldn't give it because it's too sensitive information from a psychologist she saw twice. The psychologist discharged her and banned her from seeing behavioral health in their network because of Chloe's uh, threats, And as Lexi and Tara J, Gabby, and Paige know, and the rest of the group, Jenna, I think Jenna is awesome. I mean, totally, she's awesome. I mean, yeah, we have our problems, me and Jenna, but I think Jenna is really a cool girl, and I liked how she posted comment recently how her transition's going. Transition, as you all know, stalled because she's got no. I mean, and anyone wants to laugh, I know. Um, and feel free to, Tara J. Chloe's always like, "Oh, you're against me." Well, I'm not really against anyone, but I'm saying feel free to, if you have to make a negative comment. The thing is about her referrals is Christian-based place that she was going to. Once Trump signed that thing, that basically said, well, we can't help you with your letter. So, so the other place on the hill wasn't going to give her the letters. The third place can't do it because they don't have a psychiatrist. The fourth place basically said she's got too many problems, we can't handle her, which I'll get to the fourth place, So the fifth place was the Christian-based place. Well, as you know, the Christian-based place apparently in the letter basically said, no, we're not helping you because you have to take care of a probation thing now. When I've talked to I have release of info. Chloe restored release of information to me. To the one hospital, and I've been in contact, and I said, hey, you guys gave us watered down records, but the same thing about the watered down records is that basically, you have a chart that said she had 2 visitors there at the hospital, and they said they went through it with a fine comb, checked all the logs, nothing. So they said it was an error. Now, the reason for it is because, maybe they sent someone in to make her a deal or something at the hospital on, I think it was the 14th and 15th, 13th, 14th, and 15th of, um, of March. But anyways, they said absolutely not. They did tell me that because of the incident, that one of the documents they couldn't give us was apparently an incident report where Chloe basically the nurses heard her threaten my life, and what happened then. Well, police got involved and everything else, and well, that could be what the probation thing. Problem is we don't know, because of the whole ordeal, what it is. It could be just an error, but for us, we, uh, and everyone thinks, I may be insane, but I'll tell you what, I have a lot more disabilities than Chloe. So technically, I am insane by the records that I hold in this desk here with right here of this is my mental health records of being diagnosed with schizophrenia, borderline personality, and bipolar. So because of it, you get the idea. They gave me a nice little class, and they paid FedEx shipping. Lawyer is basically kind of irritated that he's chomping at the bit. Now, let me get you the other problem, okay? Now, all these records, as you know, in the state of Washington, if a record is so sensitive that it has like names of targets and stuff like that, et cetera, et cetera. I need to look up something real quick on YouTube. Google, I mean. I don't remember what it's called, but anyway, I'm looking it up. So anyway, Nixon had a hate list or hit list or something, hate list or something, So the enemy list, yes. So basically, Chloe has her own enemies list, okay, and it's in there. So the sensitivity, and I know Chloe's mom's gonna sit there and go, well, problem is, me and Chloe's working out all the things. And I know Chloe's mom's probably watched my other videos and said, well, you might be intoxicated, but someone basically did a false call, and the police were investigating and they decided to take me in, and they didn't take Chloe, and they separated us, and they ready to go. But, from everything I've heard, you guys can put 2 to 2 together because, they had a false call investigating a weapons charge of weapons used today, which turns out wasn't anything. The guy claimed I was arrested for false, for obstructing justice, which he didn't tell me what he was looking for. I was saying he just basically tackled me when I was taking the trash out. He didn't tell me exactly what he was investigating. I did say there's no weapons involved afterwards. And then he said resisting arrest. Now, I was struggling a bit because I've never been in cuffs before. So technically, because of it, if you look at the whole ordeal with this, and this, turns out, that, because he gave me the rights after I had my cuffs on. And then he had to basically say resisting arrest. But first he said obstructing of justice. And, me being learning disabled, it's like, so I talked to the police officers, and one police officer asked, with all the stuff that's happened with me and Chloe while I'm with her. And I said, well, it's none of your business. He says, I can use that against you in court. I said, no, you can't, because that's none of your business, because frankly, it's love. And I said, if you want to use that against me, I can basically turn around and tell you exactly. And he says, then he asked, because Chloe, he asked a couple questions, and, Chloe basically came out, and they were basically going to break Chloe's face for basically walking out to be with me. They're like, get in the effing house. No, we're arresting you. And I said, hey, don't talk to her like that. She's autistic. Then he's like, please go in. We'll talk to you about it later. But then basically when he found out I'm looking after an autistic girl and Chloe and everything else, it was just like, oh, but anyways, it's a complicated issue. I've contacted lawyers. They've been retained just in case, but it's a complicated issue is all I can say. And, and because he basically did what he did, it could be looked at as a civil rights violation for me because, being disabled, everything else, he basically slammed the cuffs down. Didn't tell me I was detained, which he's supposed to say I'm detaining you right now. Instead, he read me my rights and said I'm under arrest. And then later, he basically told me after I had to wait 15 minutes and pestering him, what are the charges? When he finally told me resisting arrest and obstructing justice, then eventually, he released me, and it's complicated, And so when I went in, my neighbor was throwing a temper tantrum at the time, and I just said, calm down. And apparently I decided, and I enjoyed it on ice, apparently, is what Chloe said. But I finished the blue label. After so many years, the blue label's an empty. That's Johnny Walker. So apparently after that, a police officer went to the neighbors. I don't know the whole details. I think Chloe called through the computer, but I'm not sure because she's very angry at whoever called on us. And they said it was out of state. So, but anyways, I think Chloe called, might be part of her borderline to get even. But anyways, apparently the neighbor basically called because the neighbor's a former heroin addict. And Chloe's positive. She's still on heroin. So, she's always sending it to the heroin user when she had a phone, or the meth user next door. And me, I leave everyone alone. You guys should know this by now. I'm neutral. But anyways, so for what I understand is she did this. Police basically got sent over to me. The neighbor said, no, go over. Me, I was basically half in bed. Next thing you know, I'm in a police car going to the hospital. Next thing you know, Chloe's bringing me Moppy, and I basically told the hospital I'm suing. The police officer said, well, we don't really want the dog in the car. And it's like, hey, I was in the car earlier coming up here with, well, that's a different story, miss. Well, anyways, with Moppy, basically, they brought him. Well, Chloe was leaving, and I told the lady, Chloe wasn't welcome there. They're like, well, Chloe did this to you, Chloe did that to you, Chloe did this, she's leaving. So I basically got up, Chloe stayed just long enough to see Moppy and me, and she left. And me, basically going, and the lady's like, well, I even look, for what I remember, walking out, and the lady says, you need to go back to your bed because, we're not letting you leave. I said, am I detained? She says, no, you're just, too drunk, and we're waiting for mental health to come because they could sign you in with, with involuntary and detain you for 30 days. So I walked out of the hospital. I said, back away. I walked out the door, called Chloe in this hospital gown, and I went with her. Chloe says, the police are going to be called. Next note, Chloe went up there. Chloe says, I'll go get in bed. Here's your jammies. Just sleep. I said, okay. So Chloe goes and she rests for about an hour or two, just waiting for the police. Next, Chloe's not against me. Goes up there, comes back and says, here's your clothes and stuff. And they said, yeah, they know you've requested your medical records. It's going to be interesting and a hoot, but hear it for yourself. But they've asked us not to come back to this hospital. Me, because of my mental things of tossing a hospital room. I said, you didn't go to jail? She said, no, the police were there. You, because they thought the police would stay with you, but the police had other calls to do. So basically, they didn't leave the security guard. She just walked out the front door. The security guard was inventorying your stuff. So, by the time they figured out, she went home. The nurse was like, you two aren't welcome here. Chloe's like, that's fine. I didn't think your hospital is a piece of effing crappy hospital. Put that in your damn report. She says, we didn't call the police, but we did let the DCR, that's the one that comes in and evaluates people for hospitalization. Apparently the DCR is so damn royally pissed that not just once, but 3 times I've left. Now, Chloe's mom can sit there and say, well, but first time, second time, first time it was taking too long. Second time they told me they don't care if my vagina's damaged and gets sealed up, they're going to throw the dilators in the trash. I told the guy to go F himself and walked out in the gown. Third time I walked out with the gown. First time I told them, give me my effing clothes, and they weren't going to argue. For second and third times different, but you know what? They got their gowns back, and I'm quite happy being here. And, and so yesterday we were at Walmart, and we ran into one of the nurses, and I told the nurse, I was in a wheelchair. I have had severe concussions, 5 of them, probably 6 now, and I'm going to have to go see a doctor again about it. And they say, well, the more head trauma you get, the more weaker you're going to get, and the more you're going to have to be in the wheelchair. Well, with the whole thing with the ordeal with the police and everything. But anyways, I keep rambling on, about this and that and the other. And, so the hospital basically it doesn't want me there. Okay, now, the mental health up on the hill, people can sit there and say, oh, well, it's not that bad. Actually, it is, but it isn't. I'll get down to the brass tacks, okay? And Chloe's mom could sit there and say, well, she burned the treatments. Well, here's the thing with Chloe, and I think Chloe's mom's going to realize this in this video and others, that up on the hill, basically, she's been basically avoiding going to treatment and everything else, but she's also basically badmouthed them in the hospitals that she went to, Seattle-based places, that they've got the records because they were trying to build a case to involuntary commit Chloe, and instead it didn't work. It's just like out the window, so they don't want to deal with her. They don't want to deal with me because Chloe's best asked, and maybe Rita needs a little extra help too. And they're just like, but me, I basically just walked out the front door drunk, sober. But anyways, back to the thing. So because of Chloe's, name calling threats and stuff, they don't want to see her. The other place, same thing. And then, like I said, the Christian-based thing said until she gets this whole probation thing worked out and talk to her parole officer, which having full release of info, I've talked to the director, which I'm friends with over there's Aaron's therapist psychologist, and they don't have any info. It's like they put false information in a record, literally, and then they can't remove it. So they'll just say they remove the part where she has no legal issues and been to jail recently. But that's because we basically contacted everyone in King County, all these other counties like Maricopa County, etc. Nothing. So unless someone has something out there that we don't know about, the technicalities is it's just basically screwed. Now, let me get to the other part. The other place that I went to, like I said, the fourth place, she basically was handled off to the Hill again, where they said she's too much work to go to this place. Fourth place, I contacted recently to get services with me because I need someone who takes Medicare. So apparently, the only therapist I'm gonna get is that psychologist. Now the other place, they have therapists, but they can't diagnose, so I have to have the psychologist. So I got a therapist signed up at one place, which I'm not supposed to have a therapist at one place and a psychologist at another place, and then my own therapist I pay my own money out because it's and wrong and practices. So in my opinion, oh well, so back to the other thing. So the Hill doesn't want to give us her records unless we pay through the nose. So next month I get to pay through the nose. With her not having cash assistance because this, that, and the other. The lawyer also today when I talked to him said, "Oh, is she continuing services? How can you continue services when first place she tried basically doesn't want to help her because of all this stuff going on and the fact that these threats. Second place doesn't want to help her because of threats and discharged her. Also, her PCP threw her out. She has no PCP. We've been looking, which we can go through the other place. Third place, was there only 4 middle places or 5? I know there's the Hill, CV, and CC. Okay, 4. So 4, not 5. So third one's the one I went through. Now the first one, they don't take Medicare. Oh well, they don't want to see me anyway. Second one, basically they take Medicare, but up here in the Hill, they're all the clinic, they're filled. So that leaves with Wenatchee. So I made appointments with Wenatchee. Now I talked to a guy the other day. I had to talk to all of them to get the best therapist possible because my therapist is like, well, I'm going to retire and go back to school and stuff. So you're going to find someone eventually. So we're working together. I paid him. Anyways, apparently what he said was, this guy talked to me and we talked about, part of my things, and he asked me some questions in my file. And then he realized, oh yes, I was the one that was supposed to be talking to your significant other at the about the follow up from the one hospital, but it never happened because we don't take the insurance. So eventually 3 months later she relapsed and went back to a mental hospital again. So but he says all of us don't take any of these. We only take this one and this one, and that's why it's hard for us to do it. So they basically recommended after the hospital they recommended the third one. Third one I contact, they have a psychologist only. So I was like, yeah, I'll take it. And then the therapist is on the second one that Chloe went through. The first one and the fourth one won't take me because of Medicare issues and the fact that I don't have Medicaid and the fact that, but they don't want to even take Chloe. First one doesn't want to take Chloe, like I said, because of and I'm not bad mouthing Chloe here, because of threats and everything else. And the fourth one doesn't want to take her because of anymore, discharge her because of some parole violation, probation thing, which basically I'll read it to you right here. It says she's abide by her probation ruling, checking with the parole officer. Well, with the director and 3 other people, including that therapist that assigned her, they won't tell us who her probation is, parole. I was talking to her, like I said the other day, a fellow sister, and she said, well, that's what it said, that's what it means. Well, the thing is, I've contacted every probation department in two counties, unless I'm missing something in another county in Washington. I've checked in with Maricopa County. I've checked in with the county in San Diego, and I've checked in with the counties in Ohio that she lived in. It's all clean. So wherever they're getting this information, they better be coughing it up because something is not right, and that's the weird thing, with that is, in the hospital, they've been straightforward with me. Certain information, like I said, sensitive, they won't issue it. So the lawyer gets what he gets, but the lawyer also gets the information about the Asperger's. And that's basically, as I gave him the information and read it to him, is the cake that's going to get Chloe into this building. The rest of this crap, as I said, is basically pretty much useless as useless can be on the grounds that, you know, on the grounds that, uh, that everything happens for a reason. I mean, look, a lot of the information is like, major depressive disorder. But, if you are major depressive disorder, that's fine. You do have your ups and downs. I mean, I'm bipolar, but guess what? I mean, like, let me just tell you this, okay? I'm not going to badmouth the young lady. Not going to do it. But having a lawyer chomp at the bits for the hospitalizations when he's got 2 out of 3 is not bad. I mean, literally. He also thinks that, the mental diagnosis that she's been diagnosed hasn't been started from 2 years ago. So technically that's not going to work. So we have to base everything off of the Asperger's. And with Social Security moving rules around for mental health issues to, I think it's 5 years now before you can get on. You have to have 5 years of trouble, which means 5 years of unemployment and everything else to get on it. You got to prove that Chloe had all these things all the way back to like 2000 and what is it, 2013, let's just say 5 years. So, I mean, all I got is records from, what is the years that this was in anyways? Hold on a second. I'm just curious. These records I can submit, but Chloe doesn't want them submitted because this is funny because this is actually from July of 2016. And it just basically talks about, this and that. And apparently these records is the ones where the lawyer doesn't know that we acquired them. He doesn't, when I told him we have them, he's like, oh, we got enough. But these talk about Chloe being hospitalized multiple times in Arizona for apparently drug and alcohol use is what it says. Now, I don't know the whole details of everything. I'm still looking it up. But, like I said, Chloe and I, we both are a team. And, she was just like, but that's what I get from it. But also, she's been hospitalized out there yet. It just says, unknown, all these unknown things. Yet, when you look at her hospitals in Seattle area, it's all unknown too. I mean, the guy. I went through every hospital pretty much. I mean, I went through her records with a fine comb, what we got, and it's in a bag, a sealed lock bag, ready to be sent to the rest of the records. Sent to her lawyer. Lawyer's got most of it. He's got to send it out. He's like, well, we got time, but we need to have all the records lined up, and so you need to move it. Well, like I said, the homeless shelter knows something they're hiding it. That's what I think, because that's what me and him said. But me paying through the nose, like you said, just so we can get records is pretty bad. I mean, I got to pay here and I got to pay here, and then I paid for one place. It was like, I don't remember how much, but it was so much money. They sent 15 pages of Chloe having a food bolus in Seattle. 15 pages, and they charged me through the nose. And then, we looked over other issues, and it was the same way. It was like, hold on a second. My coffee should be ready. Let me continue this in a second. I tell you, my bones aren't getting any better, but you get the idea, right? So Chloe's got her administration hearing. The problem is there's certain places, that are basically not allowing us to have all the records, and it's sensitivity, the enemy list. Chloe's got an enemy list, but that's beside the point, and then, with all these things happening, out of me, he's chopping at the bit. Well, let's see. We got one record that we're waiting to come in. The other one, he said to me, this is the funny thing, okay? The guy turns around and he says, we need all these records, right? Now, I've submitted extra records, and he's like, way to go. We're happy to submit. I submitted her mental evaluation that she was starting in Seattle, which basically didn't say anything. It was just like, they asked her a whole bunch of questions, 3 hours of work, sent her out the door and said, okay, you can continue living in the homeless shelter until time to leave. And then apparently, they tried to do something with, the other thing is I told the lawyers is one of the things is something about jobs. They were going to put her in a work program and get her housing applications. And, Chloe's just like, I am disabled, and so a lot of these places like mental hospital and other places are trying to roadblock her from being, being too disabled. And she is too disabled. I mean, literally. And I'm not bad mouthing her at all. I mean, if I needed, let's just say hypothetically, and I know it'll never happen, but if I ever needed, like, say, extra witnesses to say all the problems, I could always say, hey, Gabby or Tara J or Lexi or Jenna, let's all line up at the Social Security Administration hearing. That would basically get her on it anyways, because, but maybe, and I know Tara J, if she's watching this, will say hell no. But, it was just a joke because, problem is, I have to do a lot of cleaning and I got 4 days to get this place up to par. So I got to get this place vacuumed and everything else. And I mean, we have a lot of stuff going on anyway. But now about, like I said, with Chloe, there's sensitive information, more sensitive. Chloe's mom's probably watching this and going, but let me just say, if you're watching this and you get through all of this, I applaud you, but I do request that you maybe email me. Maybe you have the answers we're looking for as to why she's got a parole officer or a probation, because I've tracked everything down. And as you know, with me, I do everything not half-assed where the lawyer says, oh, well, we got time. Oh, well, you need to get through this. You got a couple months till the hearing and we got to get this done and you need to do that. It's like, I'm like, dude, I'm waiting for 3 last records. One's coming. I said, I'm delivering you some records on Monday, so you'll get more records. But, and I told him today, I said, dude, how do you get more records Monday when we're only submitting what we have already come in? We're not submitting anything else. I mean, we are still waiting for the second hospitalization to give those records. They haven't sent it. They haven't sent it for whatever reason. We've said many times over. Now, Chloe's basically requested it, and we think it has to do with the Hill. They're basically, as the old saying goes, cock blocking it. And we're not trying to be funny here. So they're trying to do all this. I'm trying to maintain and trying to get a house clean, getting things prepared. I mean, look, my birthday's coming up, so I got to get a birthday thing set up. And I want to talk about that. Like, for one, I need to finish my spreadsheets because it's already the 16th, and I got till the what is the full time in the month? 30 days or 31 days this month? It doesn't really matter. So, me, I'll get it done. Oh, and if you want to know about this here, this little wound, this is actually where the cuffs popped into my vein for some reason. I mean, literally. And I got a lot of black and blue marks on my leg. So, I don't even know. I mean, I sit down on a toilet basically and I'm crying because the pain's just too much, So, but anyways, now back to the story. So, as you know, the first and the fourth one won't see Chloe because it's a parole violation. So her caseworker's like, well, you're gonna take care of this, and this. And I even asked the caseworker while I was up there submitting some bills for my Medicaid claim, and that's what spin down. And I said to him, dude, do you have the info we need? Oh, no, I don't. This is the first. I said, they won't. I mean, I even showed the other letter. And we'll look into it. Nothing. Now, lawyers like, well, she's not going to get on disability because, even with the main overlying, she can get on it. They're going to ask why she hasn't followed through treatment. And I said, simple. How do you follow through treatment when there is no treatment, when they basically dump you because the whole thing about some parole violation, that we don't even know about. Now, I know Tara J, if she's out there, maybe just maybe, I don't know if she can post it on YouTube or if she could post what she knows in one of her podcasts, because I think it's time, on the podcast, because I think out of everyone, Tara J and Lexi has more answers than I do. Now I was at the wrong place at the wrong time with the police came, because we don't, I'm still trying to figure that one out. But my lawyers, they're working on it. I got a nice lawyer. He's just like, hey, we're gonna do this for you and that for you, and you're covered. So I was like, cool. But anyways, about the meds, he asked about it. I said, go and do this, and he already did. He says, I know about the meds, but they're not going to buy into it. I said, you know what? Government wants to be subsidized for psychiatric meds. That's fine and dandy. I mean, look, they tried to they want to put me on psych meds up at the hospital. That's one reason why I left. That's like, F you. I already told the guy, the doctor, you want to put me on all these? I'm like, hey, you don't have the authority to. By the way, the reason the hospital can't detain up here is simple, okay? Here's how it works. When you go up there for alcohol, drug, or psychological reasons, they have to have a medical provider within 3 hours. Now, if you're intoxicated, they can push it back and say, oh, well, hospital rules. Thing is, by law, it's got to be 3 hours. Now, with them making me wait so long and waiting, and breathalyzer, another one, I just walked out the front door saying you violated the law. Well, the other thing is even so, every time that Chloe's been up there, they're just like, come see us. But them, they don't want to come see us. And here's the thing. Now, if there's going to be a court order, she'd have to detain me for 3 days, send a letter to the prosecuting attorney saying we're going to file for involuntary, and it's got to be approved on these grounds. Now, I was drunk. I wasn't threatening anyone. I wasn't harming anyone. I'm not gravely in danger. Now, the lady said I am gravely disabled on the grounds that I haven't bathed in like a week. And she says my snack stinks. And I'm going, it's my disability. When I get depressed, I don't take a bath. That's the thing. I'm just like, bleh. But today my plan is to dilate, hop in the tub, get clean. And then I got to handle Chloe, and Chloe's like, we both got to get the, handle Chloe as in Chloe can't sit there and see. I was doing some cleaning yesterday and Chloe fell asleep. She's like, when she wakes up, she gets on her computer. So I'm like, I'm going to have to turn off the router or something because we can't just sit there. We have an inspection in 4 days and they gave us an entire list of crap we got to go through. She's like, okay. I mean, the manager stuck it. We have to have it, Oh, my hubby's tablets are. Now, on other news, I was just talking to my father-in-law. Sweet guy, by the way. He turns around and he messaged me and he says, we got a lawyer emailing me soon about hubby's lawsuit that will go through now because of all of it. And I know we've been waiting for this. And I told Gabby, when I win, which Poppy said will happen, I wanted to get a huge boat. And, it'd be my retirement thing. I told Gabby she put herself in a little captain's outfit and be my first mate. It was just a joke. But anyways, I was looking at motorhomes the other day. There looked some really nice ones too. And Poppy said, "Well, you need something to tow a car and all this." And I'm just like, "Yeah." I was looking at an Ecto One car as just a kick car, just to drive around front, or a Knight Rider, or Ghostbusters, or Back to the Future, and all this stuff. And Chloe, just get one that's automatic, and or something or other. But he mailed me and I told him what happened with the lawyer stuff with me. And he's like, get the lawyer's advice is great. And I talked to my family and they said the same thing. So, they're willing to write statements if they need to, but, it's just wait and see, and, but right now my focus isn't about that. My focus is on getting the rest of the information. But as I tried to tell the lawyer, you can't chomp at the bit. Now, you're asking me, well, where can she go? Well, let's just say, first place, Chloe called them a bunch of mother effing Twinkie eating pack of bastards, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. See, what happened was Chloe kept wanting me to go there on their appointments. They said no. So I said, I'll just read the Book of Mormon. It's a good girl. Chloe threw fit and all this crap, and then that was it, And they told me, I could see them. We'll tell the whole hospital incident, which, if any kids are watching, do not start drinking alcohol. It's a bad thing. Then when she finally found the second place, they basically, one day she went in there and she was basically raving hysterically about wanting to kill everyone, and they turned. And because it went back to square one, they offered her services up on the hill. She says that. So she went to the services in Wenatchee and tried there. And she went to all the place, take Medicare. Oh, no. So back to square one. She didn't want to give them her business. So she went to a mental hospital. And then they basically put in the file that yada, yada, yada. And then when she got out, medicated again. She was going to try again there. And then basically she got mad at them when she ran out of meds. Back to square one. Diagnoses are right, go through the hill. Back to square one. and 2 weeks, and plenty of trips to Wenatchee for pre-surgery, by the way. For me, nothing. Finally, my psychiatrist says go through here. Well, she got everything lined up, went through, had like 2 appointments, and I was in one of them because I made arrangements with the therapist and the psychologist and the group people that I worked with her. Now, if there was any outbursts, I would write it down and basically leave a log, which I did. Well, apparently, in the outburst logs and everything of everything that's happened, if Chloe's mom's watching this far, she'll realize, the outburst log was, self-harm, threats towards family members or loved ones or medical. I mean, let me put it this way. In this chart here, it says has made threats to kill, hurt medical professionals. And then the threats of what Tara J knows about POTUS and Vice POTUS and all this other crap, which, thing is as you all know, and I've already said it in one of the videos, Secret Service was supposed to come back and visit us. I was in a mental hospital when they came to the door, basically, but they haven't surfaced. I talked to the police about it, and they're like, yeah, right. And, actually, one of the officers said, yes, it's actually true. And he's like, so if you want to say Rita's a liar, she's not. And he's like, oh. And he said, the other problem, because we won't bring it up in this video, is true. And everything I said is true. Then he says, why are you with her? And I said, I love her. This is duly noted. I made a note of that. But everything Rita said is true. So if you want to hold that against her in courtroom, that's fine. And then, because one time Chloe was talking to the guy who took her to the hospital to get evaluated, and they threw her out basically because they didn't want to deal with her. He basically was talking to her before going up there, and he was actually, Chloe let it, he said, I felt like the privileged one that looked over everything that she had in her medical records. And I can clearly tell you that Rita's mumbling right there. Everything that she saw is in her medical records. And the guy who's basically detained me goes, well, still, we're investigating. He says, you know what? You're not going to find anything. The guy said something about, the video, and he goes, that video is 4 months old. The guy goes, can I see it? I said, if you let me out of the cuffs, I'll go play it for you. It's archived. And then a couple other guys said, you don't want to see it. It's very disturbing. It's 4 months old where Missy's holding the knife to her throat after, something or other. And then this and that. And the guy's like he was disappointed at the same time. And he said, was there any weapons used, ma'am? I go, nothing. The only time she picks up a knife is basically when she wants to kill herself for not wanting to threaten her life. I'm suicidal. I want to die because, I don't want to do this or clean or something. He's going, that is abuse. That's spouse abuse, basically threatening to kill yourself over not wanting to clean. And then I have to disarm her. And then, when they found out I had concussions, they're just like, I told him, I said, I disarmed her because, as everyone's going to see, and I'm going to clear this up today. So anyways, this knife is what she had in her belt clip one night when she wanted to go and stick this blade. I was talking to someone about this blade into someone's head. And I'm telling you, literally, this is not cool. So I confiscated it. And I told the guy that. And he goes, oh. I said, that's why I got the concussion, basically. I was slammed head first and knocked myself out. And he used a lift chair, the power lift chair. So because of it, she wanted to go take care of she calls it the white trash neighbor, and then the Scottish African woman, and she's just, I got, and I've had concussion since because it's almost same argument. So, but the thing is, Chloe is mental, but if you're watching this, Mom, you don't know how much I have to do, and so now we just got to see if she gets approved. That's the next thing. Now the lawyer's basically like, well, we might not get approved because there's not discharge summaries. Well, if there's not, I'll explain why. I mean, look at it. I've explained to you. There might be possible federal criminal charges because of this whole thing. There might be possible state charges for other things. We don't know about this whole probation thing, which we're trying to work out. I mean, look, I got probation, more probation, more probation. And then on top of all this, I said, I got receipts stacked up since April of last year where I've been taking care of her and putting my needs pretty much, I'm doing my own basic needs and putting everything on her. And I said, I got a special receipt box. He said, keep it. Then if she gets on disability, you'll get reinstated for that. I said, I don't want to be reinstated. All I'm saying is it's costing on. I said, it's also costing me money, and I have receipts to prove all of it. I mean, look, next month I'm paying $300 out just on the Hill just to get her records because they do not want her records given, you know. And he's like, we'll get them and we'll submit it to, we'll submit it on the itemized thing that you have to pay. I said, the second part is that if we want the second copy of the mental hospital from the third hospitalization, that's going to cost me at least $400. They will not release them without huge amounts. And he's even tried. They won't do it. They say it's too sensitive. Now, the other place, we just paid $6 and there was nothing. I'm like, yeah. He looked at it and goes, this doesn't have anything about psychological. Yeah. I mean, there was a little bit, but it was mostly we're closing her case on the grounds of threat. And then the other place basically said she has too much needs and she's got a lot of symptoms of schizophrenia, but her mental hospital record, basically stated she's not schizophrenic. I am. So she basically states in her hospital records, that she's hearing voices and seeing things. And the other day, I swore I saw a saber-toothed tiger and a triceratops on the lawn. I mean, literally. I mean, and this wasn't alcohol-induced either. It's just like, and I saw something the other day, and I'm going, whoa, I mean, let me put it this way. I was in a hospital the other day, and when I got home, I woke up, and I swore I heard the doctor that did my surgery. I know Jenna knows the name. Was the mayor of the mayor of Portland. So I'm like, he's the mayor and the police chief of Portland. I'm going, I had to look it up and said, what the hell? I heard it from someone who heard it and they're talking. But anyway, the definition of detained by the hospital is you're detained only by the DCR. Now, if you're completely intoxicated and this and that, you have the right to leave on your own free will. So technically, that's why the law wasn't called on. And then I even talked to, I ran into a police officer, one of them, and one I looked up to, and he's like, hey, you know the law better, but yeah, you're disabled to a point where, they shouldn't have done what they did. They needed to give you protocols, they didn't. They just handcuffed him. And, the guy was so dang young. He shouldn't have even been packing a gun to be a police officer. I mean, he was doing everything by the book, but, maybe he was a recruiter, a trainee or something, but still, he was in full uniform. It was like he screwed up royally. But my lawyer's got everything covered. But point is, when it comes to Chloe's disabilities, the discharge summaries, they didn't send a lot of them because, so when I told the lawyer, borderline, I mean, I've talked to a couple of people and she doesn't have any symptoms of borderline. At home, she's got anger issues. You sit there and you say, I mean, I can't remember the symptoms of borderline, but apparently they keep saying she has it, but I don't think so, I mean, literally. And the other thing is talking, one of the things I wanted to say is if Chloe mom sits there and says she needs to be medicated, you're a pharmaceutical tech for crying out loud. Why don't you look up Peter Brigham, MD, and read his works? You'll understand that taking antipsychotics will take 25 years off of her life. And that's a so-known fact. And say, if Jared J and the rest of you out there want to basically say it doesn't, this is a coroner's report. Hubby died at 38. The coroner basically said it took 25 years off his life. He was on lithium Paxil and Seroquel. You do the math. Not just antipsychotics sped up his heart disease, which we didn't know he had, and he died. Now, another thing I wanted to tell you all is, and if Chloe's mom's watching this, there is something I need to confirm with you all in this record. All right. The place happy as hell. Happy as hell. Now, like I said, we got the Hill records to get, and we got the second hospitalization records, which we're still fighting for, and then the Christian place we got to go and get because they don't really want her to have it because they're basically saying, well, she's not entitled to it because she can't get through to her parole officer. Well, they're going to get, if any of you out there that know Chloe, like Chloe's mom or Chloe's dad or other mother or anyone out there watching this video, please let me know what you guys know. I mean, I don't care if you put it in the comments and say, hey, I know our parole officer or whatever. Just leave me some message via email or Facebook Messenger or whatever so we can get to the bottom of this because this is the only royal thing that's stupid. Now, another thing I want to share with you all, okay, besides this whole ordeal being done is this. The big cake, the big cheese. So when we got a hold of some of her other records that Chloe's requested through other channels, and then we asked to have some tests done, again, to double check it, which was recently. That's why I've been online. I've been traveling a bit in a wheelchair, and it's not comfortable on one of those wheelchair buses. Chloe was diagnosed, just like me, completely intersexed. Yep, been put on paper, so anyone who wants to challenge Chloe being born both, you have no leg to stand on because it is done, signed, sealed, and delivered. You already know who, so we won't even go into detail. We're doing a video, remember? So anyways, well, all Chloe's like, who again, she's just woke up, so I had to explain it to her in there. Problem is, we have the diagnosis, even from Arizona, basically, you know, and we've been doing, yeah, I mean, you got to understand, I've gone through a lot of stamps, and my manager has been an awesome manager here where we live because we have been using the fax machine Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and we've sent out a lot. So, Chloe and I will be preparing soon to move out of the stinking hellhole that we call our town. And things will get better for me and Chloe. You know, now I'm going to be going with her because they're going to need an observationist for the her Social Security hearing. Now, Chloe's mom, I beg you, if you get any ideas to come out here, you're going to jeopardize everything, as the lawyer said. So just stay out of it. We have it covered. I mean, look, I've only done it. Everything I've done is for the greater of Chloe. Now, there's a few things that I don't agree with in Chloe's medical records, but you and I, we can go round and round and round one day. Maybe when we take a disclosure trip to Pittsburgh, we can meet up and have dinner or something. We can clear all this up because, frankly, you and I both know that we can go at loggerheads for life. What you need to do is put the damn thing behind. Why do you think my record basically said I wanted a clean slate after everything that happened to me? And the fact the best medicine was Chloe. Now, I will agree one thing about Chloe, okay? Honestly, and I don't want Chloe getting angry, violently mad, and, and I don't want the police out here because of it, because I don't want anyone to go to jail. They've already said if they're called out again, we're both going to jail. And, et cetera, et cetera. So anyone has my address, don't get any ideas because please just leave it alone. I mean, I'm already not happy, okay? Now, Chloe, of course, with everything that's going on, Chloe's always doing it, giving me the permission of this or that, like she told me to make this video this morning. And coffee, by the way, is great. Chloe, I'm gonna have to make her some coffee so I can get her going. But anyways, Chloe's gonna do what she can. We gotta move boxes, we gotta clean the corners, we gotta do all this. We got 4 days to do it, so it's gonna be clean, clean, clean. When Chloe gets done, Chloe's gonna get a big present for me next month, something nice. Maybe she'll get Red Robin. She's wanted that, or Olive Garden, or whatever, So, and me, I can't believe that my new psychologist appointment is going to be on me and hubby's anniversary. I mean, it just hurts, I mean, I still can't believe he's gone, and it hurts me, So, but anyways, so I told, Chloe said to me in an email, I said, yeah, the lawyer's chomping at the bits, contacting this morning, and she's happy to have a date. I said, congratulations. This deserves a cigar next month. So Monday when we go up, Chloe's going to take me to the welfare office. She's going to push me up there. I can't, like I said, I'm not limited. So she's going to get me to the clinic. I'm going to go talk to my primary care anyway, see if I need to make an appointment. Just get in to see them. I'm actually getting sick and tired of the, I got to go in there anyways for a couple of reasons. That's the other thing. This other place is like, you got to change your primary care. And it's like, what? This one here, basically, this one here messaged me and contacted me and didn't want to be fired. I have a Filipino one. And, if Annie's watching this, Annie knows I'm not going to fire a Filipino, But anyway, she's very thorough with her job, And the last time I was, I don't even remember what it was I was going up there for. Anyways, apparently Chloe's got to get her ears unclogged soon. So, there's a walk-in clinic. Someone might just do that, maybe, etc. She's got an appointment with her hormone doctor this month, which she's really stoked with. She's got it in, like, less than a week. I know, a week, 9 days. So she sees her in 9 days. It's great, isn't it? 9 freaking days. I'm amazed. So Chloe's got that 9 freaking days. In the meantime, my records, I was told that it's going to be a wingding at the hospital because of the 3 leavings, and I didn't sign AMA papers. I just walked out the gown. Oh, well, you know what? Bill me. I don't care. You're not going to get it. I can just submit it and get 10 years in Medicaid. If you guys are going to bill me the whole amount, but they can't anyways by law. My insurance is paying anyway. So even if I walked out, it's just, I'm not going to wait 8 hours, 12 hours, 24 hours for a DCR to come see me because by that point I'm detoxed. I'm out the door anyway. So the hell with it. So I went home and slept, bud. Anyways, the good news is, like I said, is that Chloe, the lawyer basically, has got pestering me, and it's like, dude, you get what you get, and he's like, well, Cornel got this and Cornel got that. We still got plenty of time. So, guess in August, I'm not buying a birthday present for myself, as I told the guy, because I'm going to have to pay for filing fees for getting the rest of these records and sending it out. I mean, he was surprised at and by the way, I'm going to say it for love and poops and giggles on this channel, because this is my channel. It's Coffee Time with Rita this morning. Then I just heard Chloe fart. Fart. Definitely farted. So, I love Chloe dearly. You hear it from me. But yeah, anyways, I got more responsibilities to do. So, Monday, I got to make phone calls yet again for records, releases of info, yada, yada, yada. But I might just do that and then wait and stuff. I got spreadsheets to do. Monday after we get back, we got more busting of our ass, getting things cleaned up, stacked up, etc. And then, eventually Chloe and I are going to get boxes started, stack up everything, put things away, and put it in our storage shed we have, because we're paying $60 a month for it, and to stack everything up in there. And then when it's all done, just leave our basic needs, in here, and this place will be a lot cleaner. So when we do leave, we have everything ready to go for our move, which Chloe should be really stoked, because she asked me this morning, before she got up, one of the things that she was happy about is that she said to me that she'll probably come in here and say hi to everyone just because she's excited. She can give her opinion. That she's looking forward to. Asperger's is an automatic approval. The lawyer found that out. So technically, we go in there with all the evidence we have. Anyway, she's rubber stamped. I mean, most of the records that they say already, the mental hospital records say Asperger's, so rubber stamped. Her main diagnosis, rubber stamped. Her other psychological, the psychosis, the possible schizophrenia, the borderline, which she doesn't have, or the bipolar, which maybe she has, no one knows, is an instant, et cetera, et cetera. Now, like I said, Chloe doesn't mind if there's negative comments on our videos, because frankly, we don't care. I don't care. I mean, it's just words. Now, Social Security, lawyers already talked to us about a couple other issues, and it's all sealed. So we're good as gold. Now, Chloe's happy because, A, she gets to take her disclosure trips. B, she's been waiting approximately almost 4 years, which means she's got plenty of retro money. And she's also happy, as she said, that when she talks to the lawyer coming up, he's going to be discussing with her an allocated amount for him and an allocated amount for her expenses through me, because I've been supporting her, and the allocated amount that I had to pay for her records and other out-of-pocket expenses, and it's a blessing, because frankly, with me, everything that I've done has been basically, and another thing is when Chloe got that information the other day about the Christian-based place, they basically, Chloe basically stated again, I've never been in jail and I've never had probation or parole. So how they got it, and then they're telling her she can't go through services till she resolves it's a mystery because they won't even give us the answers. So, that's the thing. But Chloe is really stoked, but I mean, we only have like 3 records due in, and 3 or yeah, 3. One I gotta pay on the 3rd. Second one, I'm waiting to come in by mail, which is no charges they given. And the third one comes in by mail. So technically, we only have. There's the beautiful Chloe Spice. So, anyways, are you stoked this morning about your lawyer? I mean, here, we'll raise it a bit so you can see her head too. She should be happy. Hey, good morning. So, I spoke to your lawyer. We got to give him what he gives us, but the thing is, I was just talking to the viewer saying, making a joke that Chloe's like a female, an Asperger's female version of Nixon, because Nixon had a hit enemies list. Well, as you all know, as I said, her 3rd hospitalization. You want to sit here? I'll give you this chair if you wish. Sure. I can sit somewhere else. Anyway, she had an enemies list, as you know, because of it, the sensitivity of some of her records but Chloe even is basically stoked about, about how, the Christian-based place basically dumped her on the grounds and she's got to get her parole thing fixed. It's like, what parole does she have, When we're not going to give it any dates for you guys here, but right there's your date, Chloe, for your hearing. Isn't that great? That's Congratulations. I've been looking for this for a long time.
I hope we win it.
Oh, yeah, your lawyer said with that new clause in it for people with autistic spectrum disorders, it's rubber stamped, Chloe.
Nice.
And, I tried to explain to people about psychiatric meds. Chloe's looking forward to reading this.
All I need to do is get my autistic diagnosis, which we're talking about.
Well, yes, exactly. We have a lot of it already diagnosed.
I'm just.
And, Chloe, on the other hand, is happy because there's 2 reasons why we're very happy about this blessing. Maybe now that she might realize she's got a date, she's rubber stamped for it, no problems. It will go through, Chloe. There's no ifs, ands, or buts, And you know that already because remember that, let's just say without names, remember that comment about you saw on my TV screen about Social Security the other day?
Yeah, I think so.
It's the one where the thing about
my glasses.
Yeah, remember fraud or something, and something you saw it too, didn't you? The anonymous reports.
Yeah, I think so.
Where's the glasses, by the way?
On the table.
Okay, I'll find them. Turn the light on. I can't see. Oh, there they are. Okay. So, you remember, somebody posted, they reported it saying that you weren't going to get on disability. So, we won't give names, but yeah, one of the things is we have all of it lined up now. If Chloe's mom's watching this, hello. You can see Chloe, she's okay. She's not dead or anything. And Chloe is basically really very upset at what happened Monday, completely of that whole thing. I shouldn't have been arrested.
Yeah, I am upset.
So, we won't even go into details. I already talked about it. Lawyer doesn't want us to talk about it much, but.
How do you know my mom's online?
Your mom watches this, remember?
Yeah, no.
And if she's watching, she does. This always fluctuates from 1 to 0 to 1 to 0. Someone's watching.
Did you say I got my diagnosis a few days ago?
Yes. You got the other diagnosis the other day. Remember, after they tested you? I said that was good news. I wanted to stick it under their people's noses.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole thing about being born both. Yeah, that's one thing that we're not going to say much about, but let's just say Chloe is doing a happy dance then. She's been on cloud 9, but
because I'm female.
Exactly, so am I. So one of the things, as I was talking about, over the years, a year or plus years, is Chloe knows she's been not just a mental burden, but financial. She wants to repay for everything. I mean, all these records are costing a lot of money. And by the way, did you
Yeah. Bring him up here. Bring that baby up here.
And so Chloe's looking forward to doing a little traveling and stuff, and also it helps to alleviate on our relationship, right, honey?
Mm-hmm.
On the financial part, which means we'll have more money to plan for our moving finally, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you want to move out of this hellhole. Oh, and Chloe did tell me something, so embrace yourselves, everyone. She can reiterate it herself if she wishes, but she was telling me when she gets on disability, she has no plans of going to a certain state where someone wants her to come home.
I have no plans now.
Because she already said no one's controlling her own money. It's her money, it's her.
When I get my disability, the only tickets for Greyhound or Amtrak I plan on purchasing is to California to take a trip out there and then come back. I just want to take my disclosure trip and just. I like to do it. If I get on disability,
you are going to be on disability
by the end of this year. I might take my trip next year.
Because you have a lawyer, you're gonna be on disability and get your first check in October, and your retro check will be here at Christmas time.
Awesome.
Which will be really perfect for everyone, including me, because of everything that's going on. And
I'm talking about my disclosure trip will be next summer because I don't think I want to go in the wintertime where it's too cold to go in the ocean.
Well, we'll go when you want. Just remember, I will not take a Greyhound ever again if I don't have to. Yeah.
But yeah, because I'm not. Yeah. Well, if we're going from here to San Diego on Amtrak, I would like to take at least Greyhound to Seattle because I do not want to wait 6 hours overnight in
you don't
that small town.
Well, you have the retro check right now. I'm not trying to say I'm spending your money, everyone, but you take the cab.
Yeah.
So you just take the cab, you get in there, you get there, and then we go down that way. And Chloe's already promised, because we're taking a train, that both ways we're getting a sleeping car.
And we get to see the. Well, we're not going to we won't be able to see the coast until we're almost there, though. Because the track doesn't go along the ocean until you get out of Orange County and stuff.
You want to hear what Mike said?
What?
Mike said you go from where we go, Freda, into Seattle. Spend the night in Seattle, right?
Yeah.
Or whatever, right? You get on the Coastal Starlight and you take that one, and the Coastal Starlight goes all around the entire coast. Not just one section. This thing goes all the way, not the Surfliner.
No, I know, but the thing is, you don't really see the ocean yet because it goes. It goes pretty much, from Seattle. Pretty much goes almost like anywhere the I-5 goes, and then after Eugene, it actually goes somewhere east of the I-5 into some mountainous area in southern Oregon into California. That way, and it goes through like Mount Shasta and all that in California, and it goes through Redding down to Sacktown.
A shout out to since you talked about Eugene, your grandpappy.
Yeah, it goes to Sacramento, and then actually after that, it goes through that. It goes through that big, huge plain in California. There's like a big, huge thing of flat land in California, like in Central California. Where it's all flat land, it goes through there.
Where the wineries are?
I don't know. There's a bunch of farms there. It's where that's where a lot of the West Coast produce is made. Is that part of California?
Cool.
Have you ever been through Flat Part, Texas?
No. Never been to Texas.
Pretty much looks like that, or it looks like a mix of that and the Midwest U.S.
Oh.
If you're in the middle of it, because you don't see any mountains nearby because it's all flat land, and they got tornadoes in that part of California too. However, eventually after you hit Bakersfield going towards LA, you finally hit the mountains, and then the train goes through downtown LA and all that, and then it goes to Anaheim.
Just so you guys.
And then after that, you hit the coast in Orange County going down to San Diego.
Okay. Just so you know, if you guys are hearing it, he did growl at me because I picked him up wrong because he does have a hernia. So I got to be careful of my little baby here. He's a happy little rutabaga. But
Yeah.
anyways, so Chloe has now got future plans lined up, and that means we will be doing future videos of things, you know. And as I said, we've already taken care of the whole thing. with
This
legalese.
Christmas will be great. Look at our list this year.
This Christmas, I gave you my heart.
I love that
The
song.
very next day, you gave it away. You were
This year, to save me the tears, I'll give it to someone special.
Yeah, well, I already have someone special. The problem is, it's all these people, you know. I told Chloe, you know, because I was in handcuffs. You know, I told her the police asked me why I put up with her. Thing is it's love, you know. I mean, look at it this way. It's truly love, you know. I mean, look, Chloe was stoked this morning when she said, "What's the package?" And I said, "It's this book." I mean, you do know Chloe reads, okay? She still needs to get she needs to devote her time to God, I think, now, because he gave her a miracle this morning. But she has been loving these books and learning. You know, I think she could make a good psychiatrist. Chloe can. I mean, like the Toxic Psychiatry. Isn't that cool? That's the one you requested.
Yeah.
I'm going to read it too. It's just like you read the last one. Last two she read were great. She was like, "Oh my God, electroshock therapy is bad." And I'm like, "Oh shit, destroying the brain."
Like that.
You said something like that. But you know what? She's would make a good psychologist. Is that where you hurt yourself yesterday?
No.
I worry about you, you know.
I worry about you.
Oh, I know you do. I mean, you know what? This girl's done. And you all know that we had it was an accident 5 times of the concussions. But she's been going out of her way to push me everywhere. Of course, like I said, those little buses that we get with the wheelchair lift, it's the most uncomfortable thing, sitting on a bus for hours, you know, which I got to replace my donut pillow with it. And next month, everyone, we will be going to take a small trip to Oregon for a follow-up with the doctor, and we're going to do probably a meal out there with my family. Chloe's happy. You know.
I gotta work on
yeah.
I have to work on trying to get those cover letters too.
Yep, we're working on that as well. I was just talking about that. You know how, you know, the other thing is I'd like to explain this today to
What
the
were you
people.
gonna say before you said the other thing?
Yeah, we're working on that, and we're gonna get it for you, aren't we?
Yeah, we're gonna. Well, there's this thing I'm gonna try next month while I'm in Portland.
Well, yeah. So one of the things I wanted to share with you all, Chloe knows this, is the Christian-based place. Basically, as soon as Trump signed the executive order, refused to give her cover letters. The Way in the Hill doesn't want to deal with it. The second place basically threw her out, apparently, for threats, like I said. And the third place dumped her back to the Hill. So it's been a big mess. So, you know, maybe since, you know, I have video going, maybe live, maybe Chloe could explain to the audience being transgendered, how hard it is to get mental health anywhere in the state, and how hard it is
to get mental health everywhere, and it's hard to get colors anywhere. But I'm working on it. We have 2 ways. One is to go to that one mental hospital to do it.
Well, yeah, we won't give names. And the other one is a doctor.
And one name is and one way is to go to is to actually see what my doctor can recommend. The one that's gonna do the surgery. But my consult is pretty much in October. It's 4 months away, and I'm looking forward for that consult. And then yeah, the only thing I'm worried about is if it gets taken away from Medicaid. But at this point, I'll just use my retro check if I had to for surgery. I mean.
Well, right now, there's no plan to take it away until 2027 minimum. So, you know, you got plenty of time. So
2027 the earliest?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, that'll be good. But yeah, so my Medicaid will cover for it. Only thing is, would I be put on, I don't know if I'll be put on Medicare or not.
Well, it depends. Like your lawyer said, they applied for both. So you might qualify for both, or you might just qualify for one. But if you're on one, that's fine. If you're on the other, that's fine. So
yeah,
we'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. It'll be covered either way.
Well, yeah, exactly. You know, state will cover it or Medicare will pay for it. Any way you look at it, it's all good.
So yeah, I'm pretty much good on that. And I just need to get the letter. Just like after October, I'm only gonna have a year's time frame to get those cover letters, and to get laser, which we're looking to getting laser. If I get my disability, I can just pay out of pocket.
Oh yeah, exactly. That's what I was saying.
I'll just pay out of pocket. At that point, I just like fuck it. No, if no one's gonna take the insurance, I'm just gonna pay out of pocket.
Well,
I'll
I've
have
already
the money by then.
talking about insurance. I did get mine appealed and approved for laser for my my bodily area.
I'm not gonna put the. I'm not really gonna put the time into fighting it for now because I just want to get this done and over with by next fall.
Well, exactly. With me, of course, Chloe. With me, it only took 10 minutes. I circled out, wrote a letter, put it in an envelope, sent it out, and they got it.
I know,
you know, so.
But I just want to get the surgery done and over with so I get through it, and then and therefore I'm complete and I don't have to worry about it anymore.
Yeah.
I just want to get corrected is what I want.
And you know what? It'll happen, you know. And
I just want to get reconnected down there. I need it.
Yep.
It'll help me monthly.
Oh, it'll help me monthly too. I mean, that's what it's doing with me. I mean, you guys don't know how hard it is to menstruate. And when you menstruate properly, you know, with it all coming back slowly, you know, I mean, my underwear is like sometimes covered in blood half the time. But I'm going down there for female plumbing checkup anyways for a couple of reasons. But, oh, look at him. He's just looking at you. Oh, it's white. Hi, everyone. Moppy here.
Anyone out there, trans, male to female, just be happy that you don't have to go through stuff like menstruation and stuff like that. Because, I mean, it could be a bit... It's pretty much... It's not fun to go through. Cramps, bloats.
Bippity boop, bippity boop. Up to the beat, bippity boop. Are you talking French, Peter? Italian. Bippity boop, bippity doo.
Sounds like Quagmire.
Hey, I want to get sex. Yeah. Hey, I can take my Tylenol. Flu and AIDS. Now I'm virus free. Yeah.
Okay. I now turn him into Chris.
Yay!
Oh, he's Stewie now. No, he's Brian.
You know as well as I do. I want to go and have a Jackson the Rocks and go and see my my good friend Ida. Yeah,
he's now Stewie.
Ida. You know, I want to dominate the world. Yeah.
He's Peter.
I'm gonna dress up as Hannibal Smith in the A-Team.
He is now he's now Meg.
I'm gonna have a sex change to become Ron.
He is now Lois.
Do you want dinner, Stewie?
He is now let's see. He's Cartman.
Yeah. Yeah, he's Moppy.
He's Big Nice Dorothy.
Hey, someone's watching right now.
Who's watching?
I don't know who it is. I mean, we can find out, but usually, you know, who knows and who cares? This is an interesting day. You know, participants it shows me, but I'm not watching myself. Someone is watching. It's just unknown who it is, you know.
Yeah.
But it could be your mom for all we know. It could be a certain lurker too, you know. Could be Jenna watching or Tara J or Gabby, Lexi, or
you know
Paige.
Thomas is gonna just, or you know who that person is, or you know a certain someone on this, someone if they're watching, will try to make fun of me saying, I bleed out my butt. That's what they're gonna say. Well, I think he bleeds out of his ass because I think he probably forces himself to do it just to claim that he's a woman.
At least I can say, don't make me laugh while I'm drinking coffee. I don't want to spill it in the computer.
And the thing, and another thing is, we're talking about how he likes to bitch about DSP gaming all the time. Yeah. I think DSP is actually cool. I followed his channel. I think DSP is actually really cool. He's a good gamer, and he's really good at what he does. And yeah.
So, like I said, for everyone out there, Chloe has been a sweetheart. Some of you out there think Chloe's a useless dirt bag. Chloe's plan today, she said, and the next few days is she's gonna do gaming in the evening, but we gotta follow this list here of everything that we gotta do to get this place ready in 4 days. And I mean, Chloe doesn't know, but we have to remove all the boxes behind us and not block the windows. We got to restructure them. Eventually, like I said, we're getting some boxes and bringing them in from the U-Haul company, have them mailed to us.
Yeah.
And then we're going to package up everything and run a truck and move everything or store it. So we have more room in here, less stuff to pack up. And then all we got to do is load up a truck and leave when the time comes when we move, which Chloe, as she said, is a blessing because when we get that, we have that apartment secured now because, you know, a little extra money, which means we can afford to move without worrying about things, you know, right? And you know that's going to be a good thing for both of us. I mean, literally. I mean, yeah. And like I said, Chloe could probably vouch for me as well about her walking with me home in a hospital gown with me walking the gown, not her. And literally, you know, I wasn't.
So yeah, good things will happen, and I'll be in good hands. And after a few months, just have some things to look forward to. So yeah.
Making up some more coffee.
Good. I had a dream about Kobe. About
Kobe Are you still gonna buy some of your retro check? At least okay, everyone. We're gonna do a video eventually where Chloe's gonna try cat shit coffee.
You are too.
Yes, I know that, but it's your project, and you know. So I was gonna place an order if my sister Tara's watching. It's not Tara J, Tara B-hole. I want to order a pound of killer bee honey
I know.
for Chloe. See, this is the things I go and do out of my way for myself. And one of the little bonus presents is she wants to try this honey. One of the things she's got to do because, you know, as I said, is I'm trying to do my best, but we have to get this place clean in 4 days. So, you know, man, you know, the neighbor told me last time, you're never going to get it in time unless you turn the router off. Fine, I'll turn the router off. Doesn't matter to me.
No, to turn it off. I know that we need to get it done. And
yeah.
So our next door neighbor, she actually smells really bad. She never takes a bath, and she's a druggie.
Well, yeah. So, like I was gonna say the other day, like I said, I don't know who called the police on the neighbor or something, but anyways, the neighbor redirected it to us, and I ended up going to the hospital handcuffed for whatever reason. I don't even know what the reason was. Was that for them, or did they just want to detain me, or? All right. So Chloe's done. I'm done. Like you said, I got work to do. Chloe's got to follow this list. I got to turn the air conditioner on. The air conditioner, I got to dilate, and then I'm taking a bath this morning while Chloe cleans. And then I get full time with him. One of the plans is I got to finish up 11 spreadsheets today. I'm going to get 9 or 10 done. The rest of them I'll do one tomorrow, and then I will start Monday after we get back from phone calls and doing errands, which this is my part to talk about my plans for the week. So Monday, Moppy your tone. Monday, we're going to be going out to do a blood draw, see Chloe's lawyer, and go to the welfare office. And then Tuesday through Friday, we're loafing around. Yep. Yes. And by the way, we will be loafing around. So for some of you out there, I have been checking on my name on the court's documents just in case, but my lawyer's doing the same as well. So, you know, just in case. But it's a complicated issue. I won't go into details, you know, of it because I'm not allowed. But, you know, so my plan is phone calls and then run around and do some errands and, et cetera, et cetera. Like I said, and that means from now until this beautiful hearing date, I'm going to be busting my butt getting all the accounting together for Chloe, so I know how much to submit, etc., as well as making sure we get everything coordinated for Chloe's trip to California. And if Chloe's mom's watching, let me just put it to you this way, okay? Out of love for you. Chloe didn't make the decision to come back here and deal with the U.S. Secret Service and other people. She would have not been on disability. They would put her on work, and she can't work. Literally, she cannot work. I mean, look, literally, she can't. Now, your state, it's a little different because of this, and this, but her state, our state, it's going through. And with the new law, yeah. For all of you out there, I want to say to all of you out there, out of love, I think this month is going to be a very productive month for me getting this stuff put together. Now, July, of course, Chloe and I got to take a dinner either. So I'm going to let you weigh in on it. We already tried Rock Top. I got to tell you, their double down burger with double patty, double cheese, and double the bacon is just to die for. And then the rest is history. Other options is Red Robin, which Chloe wants to try the Ghost Burger, or Olive Garden. I think Olive Garden will be on me and Aaron's anniversary on the 7th when I see the new Psychologist. So I think I see the Psychologist. What time did I wrote it down? August 7, 1 p.m. So I got to have lunch. You know what? If we can coordinate it right, I can do lunch and dinner on Aaron's anniversary. So next month I see my therapist. In August I see my therapist, and then I think I close the book with him and start a new chapter of the Psychologist. They gave me the address, and then the other place I go is August 30th, I believe. No, 24th for another appointment, and then we have an appointment on August. Okay, so and my birthday, and then another appointment. So allocating money to get lunch on the way out for August is going to be kind of hard because we're going to have 3 lunches out as well as appointments. And that means I think next month is the month that Chloe and I get off her ass and buy a daily planner, which means, there you have it. So with that new big piece of news and everything else happening and everything else and so far, Chloe didn't basically try to explain. So I'll finish up here. The treatments in Seattle, they were going to put her to work and all this stuff, but they were trying to roadblock her from getting on disability. Here, she came home for not just disability, but my mental and physical health isn't the greatest, so she's looking after me. And so, with that said, everyone, stay tuned for another video, maybe in a week or so. As time progresses, I'm not going to be on doing many videos, but this one this morning, I wanted to give you the news about the Social Security thing, what's going on with the law, eventually I'll talk about the law thing when we get to our new house. Everything else, and I think it's going to be a blessing by itself. So, I will, when I get to everything else, I will update you a little later. I got to put together a request list of what Chloe wants to get for herself, a spreadsheet. So I got to sit down with her, and then I got to get pricing done, and that'll be closer to her Social Security date for her hearing, so we know what she wants to buy. And then once her check comes in, we're just going to start buying things, putting them under the Christmas tree for her, and she, and so forth and so on. And Chloe and I, we've been through a lot, but to us, we finally get to move out of this hellhole soon, and we're going to be really happy. So, and afterwards, as you all know, things will get better. And we get to throw that wedding that Tara Beehole wants to do. So with that said, everyone, I got to go to plop a loaf. So a pinch of Duke. So please add and subscribe. Please post comments. Please leave feedback, suggestions. Keep it nice as all we ask. And hit the like and subscribe button. It's wholesome fun for even all of the family, including your dogs. Thanks for playing Buttercups. Stay tuned for another episode sooner or later.